Do you know why the Swayamvara was conducted? Did King Drupada conduct the Swayamvara in haste? Because I have already mentioned, he performed a great yajna. Drona thought he needed a man to take revenge. He was amazed by Arjuna's archery skills and decided to marry his daughter only to someone who had such talent. That's right. He sat in front of the yajna pit and prayed. Accordingly, he dug the pit from within the yajna. After that, I have already mentioned that Draupadi appeared, but the news that they all died in the palace of the Kauravas is what the world knows. There was a peace in that Kaurava palace. After breaking the pillar, Bhima saved all of them through the secret passage. Proshana also came to poison the Pandavas, and the 5 warriors died there. But no one knows that they died with the mother's words. 5 men are lying dead there. Proshana, who came along, also died. The mother thought the Pandavas were gone. Then I thought of marrying my daughter. The Pandavas have died. Are they alive? It's a complete confusion for Drupada. I called the astrologers to investigate. They all said that no matter how many births she takes, the Pandavas are the husbands of your daughter Draupadi. They said there is a sign. How can that be false? Then are our Pandavas alive? But they won't come out. If we want them to come out, we must conduct a Swayamvara for our daughter. The news of the Swayamvara will definitely reach all corners. And once the Pandavas decide, they will come. Immediately. Draupadi arranged for my Swayamvara. He arranged for Raghu's Swayamvara. All the kings gathered, mounted on elephants and horses. All the mantras have been chanted and are present at that place. Now they are bringing Draupadi. The maidens are there. I am a woman of such beauty. Isn't she the one who emerged from the fire? How radiant she is. As soon as the king saw her walking, they were all alive, but they have fallen. They were indeed alive, but they say they have died. The body is there, but where is the soul? They were astonished to that extent. They were mesmerized by her beauty. All the kings are present. The Pandavas are also in that gathering with that appearance. These kings are thinking, but what work do these Brahmins have here? They are sitting in wonder about why they have come. Now the maid is calling out and introducing who has come. Do you know who introduced all of them? Duryodhana. He is the eldest among the Kauravas. He is seemingly acting as if he has come to this Swayamvara with joy, happily. He is internally wondering what to do if he doesn't get it. I am feeling anxious. On the outside, he is sitting like a valiant warrior. I may have worries inside. There is a reason why he is worried. I will tell you. Hey, he looked at that woman without any hesitation. Duryodhana. Secondly, he introduced Dushasana. What did they do with Dushasana? They introduced him. While introducing the maiden said, "You won't find anyone as cruel as him in the world." He indeed introduced Dushasana as the very embodiment of mercilessness. Thirdly, they introduced someone after a year. Do you know who? The king of Gandhara, Shakuni. There is no one in this world like him for manipulating others. It's not just about cheating. To ruin someone like him, another person must be born. He can perform all kinds of magical tricks. Thus, he introduced Shakuni. After that, Ashwatthama is seated. Do you know who Ashwatthama is? He is the son of Dronakarya. He is not an ordinary person. His father was the one who imparted such skills to all those great warriors. He learned all the weaponry skills from Parashurama. Dronakarya's son Ashwatthama is very powerful. He is not an ordinary person. He is going to be immortal. Dronakarya, who taught all the tricks to his students without missing any, would not let his son go without teaching him. He introduced Ashwatthama as a highly skilled individual. Next to Ashwatthama sat Karna. They said about that Karna, he is someone who would sacrifice his life for friendship. He is someone who would sacrifice his life for the sake of goodness. A great warrior. However, they said that he would always be at the mercy of fate in life. Look at how Bharat introduced each one of them with their respective characters. At that moment, they introduced Balarama. He is very powerful. He is not an ordinary person. They introduced Balarama as someone who can achieve anything. Then they introduced Krishna. Krishna is also engaged in that same task. They are introducing that Krishna. No one knows what he will do at any moment. He indeed introduced Krishna as someone who cannot be guessed about what he will do next. After that, they introduced his brother Satyaki. Following Satyaki, they introduced Shishupala. Shishupala is always someone who could act against Krishna. He was introduced as a tormentor. After that, he introduced Sarasanthana. While introducing Sarasanthana, it was said that there is nothing in this world that Krishna does not know, except for leaving Mathura to go to Dwaraka. He was introduced as a reason for this Sarasa. After that, they introduced Shalya. Shalya was introduced as the husband of Kunti, Pandu's wife. They introduced him by saying that no one can match this Shalya, who is like my brother. Thus, each one was introduced in this manner. The Pandavas are currently in that form. They do not know who they are. But at this time, the introductions are happening. The time has come for the plan. If he rises and says something bad, all of you will come to this Swayamvara. Who does Draupadi love? The person is about to wear a garland around her neck. But there is one thing before that. You must showcase your talent. Whoever is the most skilled, to him will this Draupadi garland be given. If you show it, there is a big wheel. A wheel from a large machine is spinning continuously. Whoever can hit the target in the center with an arrow achieves it. Oh, who touches that target? Only he gets Draupadi. No one expected this. Something like that. A large machine is spinning continuously. Whoever bends the arrow and hits that specific target in the center will be told about the marriage and the plan. They thought, will all this happen? Half of them thought they should try to succeed. Each one is trying, but they are failing. Krishna was observing the kings closely. He realized that the Pandavas had come here in that form. He did not know if anything could happen in the world. Is there a chance? Based on the qualities present, the lineage kings have called all those who are in that form the Pandavas. We should not act against them. Now, what did everyone else do? Each one tried to hit that target. It didn't happen. Everyone has failed. Now, who has risen? It is Arjuna. The one in that form stood up and said, "Isn't this woman for those who hit this target?" Yes? I am absolutely ready to hit this target. Should only Kshatriyas marry this woman. This target has been achieved by the Brahmins. Will you give us that woman or not? There is no difference if I mention the plan. Here there is no distinction in saying I am a Kshatriya. He said that only the victor is called Draupadi. In the next moment, suddenly that bow was drawn and Arjuna hit the target. In the arena, all the Brahmins made a commotion. The Kshatriyas thought about what victory they had achieved, and none of them could face it. How can Brahmins come to a place where Kshatriyas can come? How can our leader just take him away in front of our eyes? If we let this go, who will just lie down? That Duryodhana? As soon as it was said, a battle broke out between the two. Now, the other kings will also be in the form of kshatriyas, and they will fight among themselves. Arjuna will lift each one and destroy them. Nakula chased after Karna, saying, what are you running for? Sahadeva. Not knowing where to go, all those people panicked and ran away. They lifted Draupadi and set off in a hurry. 5 people. Now, the one who is called the Watcher has entered the house of the crow and is sitting inside. Standing outside the hut. Now if Arjuna says, Mother, we have brought a wonderful gem after our victory. Without looking at what was brought, Kunti and the 5 brothers are sharing and eating it, saying, we have brought a gem after our victory. The 5 of them said, share and eat, and when they came out, while still talking, they saw 5 people with a woman. I said, without knowing what was brought in a hurry, if a word comes from your mouth, mother, who is in pain, it is the will of the divine. There is certainly some subtlety in it. We indeed accept it. The examination also agreed to marry her. This news is going to the king of Panchala. The one who said he would see the Pandavas in that form was indeed at the house of Kunti. If Kunti was there, Arjuna would have brought a gem with great comfort. When the 5 of them said, share it, if that mother said, all right, we 5 will marry this woman, then Dharma has indeed said that. When I went to tell the king of Panchala, I was surprised, asking, is it true that 5 people are marrying one girl? How is that possible? First of all, until the end, these people were known as the Pandavas in that self-selection ceremony. He is indeed in that form in front of his eyes. It should be understood that these are indeed the Pandavas, and he has brought them together until the end. Now the king of Panchala and his entourage are coming, the 5 of them. What did he do? On one side, he had gathered all the jewelry and pearls. In another section, he had kept weapons and decorations. The 5 of you can take whatever you want from these 2. How wonderful! In the self-selection hall, you have showcased your talents so beautifully. Do you all want the jewelry, or do you want these weapons? The 5 of them took the weapons in their hands. Only then did he come to a conclusion. He concluded that they are definitely the Pandavas. He concluded that these Pandavas are the greatest warriors who can lift weapons without valuing money. Now I am going to arrange a good day to marry that woman to Arjuna. I am Duryodhana. Then Dharma said, you cannot marry this woman to Arjuna alone. All of us are going to marry him. Hardy has gone. Duryodhana, if you ask how all 5 of you will marry my one son, it is my mother's word. We will definitely not change from that. So choose each and every day and marry each of us to Draupadi. Duryodhana said, isn't there something beyond the happenings of this world? Then Vyasa prayed and said, that is Rubadanda. Father, this is divine will. This is not your decision or my decision. This is divine will, he said. What are you exactly saying? Is it truly correct? The very news of why Draupadi indeed married 5 men is actually a situation that is, as you know, difficult for her. Vyasa said to Duryodhana,